Extra Point with Jim Thunderbird and head coach Grant Redhead.
Welcome to the Extra Point, Coach Redhead. A little better week last week, but at the Delta, I think everybody knew the situation with Delta. They had a bunch of kids that decided they didn't want to play football anymore, so it made it a little bit easier, but it's always good to get a W. And can you get things out of a game like that still?
Well, we can. We got to see good execution. Gave our kids some confidence. Got to play those backups that don't normally get a lot of time. They got a lot of time even in the first half. Only gave the starters one series in the second half, and then I subbed everyone. So we got a lot of experience for our kids. You don't want to boot heel somebody else's kids. You don't want to take that love of the game out of them. And I talked to several of their players after. I said, just keep playing. It's going to get better. You keep playing, you keep working, it gets better. But I got respect for you guys because you're showing up and you're trying every day. Yeah,
no doubt. The one running back they had, I thought he played hard all night long. He was a load, too.
Yeah, he did. And, he was physical, and he's probably their top kid, and he was one of the young men I talked to. And like I said, you got to respect that. The others didn't want to follow direction and tried that little rebellion. And, there's a head coach for a reason.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Now, you've seen the tape and everything. What did you see that you liked out of your guys last week?
Well, I saw that, they didn't pull back. They didn't get up one or two scores and just say, okay, here. They kept all pistons firing, pedal to the metal, full throttle until we pulled them back, and that's what you like. You don't want kids to get complacent, and they didn't do that. So we were pleased with the film.
Yeah, very good. Good win, a conference win. Now all of a sudden you get the chance to go on the road for a couple of weeks. Do you think you've grown in the first 7 weeks of this season? Because I know everybody looked at those Patrick Henry Liberty Center games as those two games in that last third of that season. Have you grown? Are you ready for them?
Yeah, I think we're developing. We've stayed fairly healthy. We've got a couple injuries we had this week, which, one of our starting offensive linemen rolled his ankle, so he'll be out. But it's got to be next man up. That's the thing. And that's why we try and prepare for ones and twos and get them time in practice and games. So I think we'll be all right. There's Patrick Henry. They're still going to play hard for Coach Inselman, but they're young and they make mistakes, and they've got 9 two-way starters. They have 2. And, we could get away with not having any, but, when you earn it, you earn it. And it's yours. And that's the way I think about it, at least.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good idea, too, to do it that way. It keeps a kid, they're kids, man. They can run all night long, really. Yeah. I mean, when you look at it, I always got a kick out of anybody who said, well, can't play that kid 2 ways. You play him one way, and he takes off after the game, and he's running and doing and going until midnight. So let's run a little more energy out of it. That's fine.
Yeah, you play them when you need them, and when you don't need them, you give them some rest to make sure they have that gas in the fourth quarter. And usually that's what we do, and it's worked out.
No doubt. All right, well, we'll talk about PH when we come back. We're at halftime here on the Extra Point. We'll be right back. Well, Coach, you started talking about it, the trip over to PH, okay, coming up this week. That's always a tough spot. Coach Inselman came back last year. They had one of those magic years, and now he's going through that kind of reality year right now. As you said, the cover's not quite as full over there as it has been the last few years.
Yeah, they lost all their seniors but 2, and they played a tougher schedule than they played in years. I mean, they had Macomb and Marion Local the first 2 games.
Yeah.
That the outgoing AD set up before he left, and that was a gift to Coach Inselman. And, I get along with Bill fine. He's an old school coach. He's just kind of, we talk about different things other than football when we see each other because that's the type. He'll get the kids ready, and they're playing hard. It's just they're young. They make youthful mistakes, and they've got so many going both ways that they do run out of gas. They do get tired. I mean, when you got a two-way guy against a one-way guy, it's going to happen.
Yeah, no doubt about that. They're always tough to play on their field, and I think from what I've seen with the Bryan teams, oftentimes it's tough for them to go and play on that field. Do you get the feeling the guys are ready to go over there and do that this Friday?
Yeah, we've had a decent week of practice, and 90%, 95% of our guys are healthy. We had a couple dings here, but I think the guys that are in there, can handle it. Game plan's good. I like it. I like the matchup. We're 3-4 and they're 2-5, so there's not a lot of difference. And we haven't played a lot of the common opponents. They played Swanton tight like we did.
Right.
So I think it's just going to be the turnovers and mistakes. It's one of those things, and I know it sounds like I sound like a broken record sometimes.
Yeah.
But that is the factor when two teams are evenly matched. It's penalties and turnovers, and we're getting better at that.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. I've always liked this part of the season because you see the teams that really progress now. Okay, if your team really has grown up at this point in time, we can handle going into PH and playing and give them a good game. Will he win? Will he don't win? You see him grow up a little bit, and you go to Liberty the next week. Do you kind of feel the same way?
Yeah, I thought we finished strong last year, and I think we'll finish strong again this year. I mean, the kids are getting it. They're still healthy. They're still focused. It's playoffs is not a complete out of the picture. We get 3 in a row, and some other people lose. We're sitting at 15 in our region, which is better than we have been in a long time.
Sure.
We could be all right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's interesting, to say the least.
It really is. Well, 3 more weeks, 2 on the road, 1 back at home. With that, we'll wish you good luck. And football's next here on the Q and on BMU TV.